Hello, welcome back to Bangkok. There's two good reasons to watch this video today. The first is we're going to be asking tourists and expats who are here in Bangkok, in Thailand right now, is it worth it? You know, is it worth going through all of the red tape and all of the issues and headaches around coming to Thailand? Now that they're here, now that they're having a good time, is it worth it? And we're also going to be reviewing one of Bangkok's coolest activities that you can do here. It's called Hidden Bangkok Tours, and it's in the Thonburi area. And I've invited a lot of subscribers via Instagram, and some of them are expats living in Thailand, some of them are tourists who've just arrived or been here for a short time, and there's a couple of familiar faces here as well. So relax and enjoy this beautiful part of Bangkok, and we'll learn about, you know, is it worth it? Is it really worth coming here?
Everyone has a good time. It's gonna be a good boat trip.
Yeah, my name is Marina. I'm coming from Brooklyn. I've been in Thailand for about 2 weeks now, and I'll probably be here for another 2 weeks. So I just extended my trip, so I'm having such a
But it's a
good time.
short trip.
It is a short trip, yeah.
And you had to jump through several hoops to get here, not just the normal ones, right?
I had COVID right before I came to Thailand. So I was originally supposed to do the test and go program, but unfortunately got sick in New York. So I did my full quarantine in New York before I came here, and during that quarantine, the test and go program actually closed. So my friends who were in Thailand called me at 3 a.m. being like, you need to reapply, like rebook your flight. So I did all of that, but when it came time for my new flight, I didn't have a negative PCR test because after you have COVID, you can still test positive for months to come. So I showed up to the airport with a certificate of recovery, which you can use to enter Thailand, but the airline turned me away and the airline wouldn't let me in. So I went home and I was like, let me just do a PCR test just to see what happens, and it was negative. So finally rebooked my flights for the next day, flew into Thailand, had a great time for about 5 days, and then I got food poisoning. But after all of that, I'm still so happy I'm here. Yeah.
So yeah, it's really interesting as we're driving through the canal system. Our tour guide, he's just telling us like, oh, this is a really famous person's house, and this is where the temple is where everybody goes on a Sunday, and yeah, it's just really nice. Everybody seems really happy down by the canals. They're waving at you. I was just accidentally filming inside someone's house, and I was like, oh, but they were like, hi.
Trying to get myself a bargain.
Hello. This is beautiful, man. Really nice experience.
See the house for water slide?
Work it.
My name is Tess Anderson. I'm from Sweden, Myanmar, half-halfy. I've been here since the mid of December.
Was it worth it? Was it worth jumping through all of the hoops to get here?
Yeah, definitely. Like for me, I don't think it was too much of work. I just needed to fill in like if I was vaccinated and if I've been sick with COVID, and like normal paperwork. It wasn't too much of a hassle actually. It was just like a little extra, but yeah, worth it. It's imagine just like a normal trip with just submitting your COVID vaccine. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. Yeah.
And she's telling me she's trying to figure out ways to stay here longer now, aren't you? Or come back and make it.
I feel like
permanent.
that's the way with everyone that comes here. They're like, oh yeah, would love to live here. Would love to like move here. I haven't met anyone that's like, no, I don't like it. No, it's you get stuck. You definitely get hooked off like everything, the country, the culture, the food. Yeah, this stuff, like this Buddha, like was it 92 meters?
Something like that.
Yeah, which is crazy. I've seen so many Buddhas, like all over the world. I've never seen this this big Buddha. Like it's actually crazy.
It's supposed to be annoying.
Yeah, they're really nice. They're really nice. I just like been in this one.
Yeah. Bangkok looks so pretty at night. And on the river, this breeze, 10 out of 10.
My name is Riley Teagle, and I'm from the United States.
And how long have you been in Thailand?
I've been here 8 days. I would say it is worth it. It was very nerve-wracking getting off the plane. You know, you have a binder full of paperwork. You're really trying to get through the process as easily as possible. But once you're finally here, and once you step off that plane and you walk through those gates, you really do feel like you're a part of the reopening of Thailand. And I do feel like it's a worthy trip to take. Having traveled to the Philippines for a year in 2019, this really feels like the next generation of travelers, the digital nomads, and that sort of traveler. And I would say now is the time to come. Get ahead of the curve, and it'll be worth it.
Well said, huh? And he has a YouTube channel as well, so go subscribe.
My name is Drew.
My name is Kavina.
We're from the United States.
All of the issues you had to go through, the vaccines and the sandboxes, was it worth it?
It was really hard work. He did most of the research and stuff. It was worth it if you can put the time in and do it right. I would say if we kind of missed some things, it would have been harder to come.
With the test and go, because we came in on the test and go just before it was closed. I think it was completely worth it. We had a long anticipation period though where we wanted to come back for about 3 years. So I think that building up, finally getting here, we've had just a great time. So yeah, we would go through it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So what's your name and where do you come from?
Esther, and I'm from New Zealand.
And how long have you been here?
Arrived the 1st of December, so about 6 weeks.
Now coming from New Zealand, where you're basically locked out of your own country now,
Yeah.
is it worth it? Was it worth it coming all this way, going through all of that issues, to be here finally on the ground?
Yeah, I think it was worth it. I think we researched a lot to come here, and it felt like quite a lot of work. And then when we got here, no one really asked for all the papers that I had prepared, and it felt easier than it seemed online.
Okay,
And it was worth it, yeah.
Jason, and I'm from New Zealand.
perfect. And you've been here the same amount of time as Esther?
Same, yeah, month and a half.
Was it worth it, mate?
Yeah, nah, absolutely, mate. It's so cool, man. Like, leaving a country where you're pretty much locked down and, you know, regulations and whatnot, and then coming to a place where it's like everyone's just free to do whatever they want, pretty much. But yeah, like, did all the research to get all the paperwork and everything together, and we've got this, like, stack of papers that were, like, regulated for all the stuff we need, and then they're like, oh yeah, just, you know, go through, it's all good. And we're like, oh,
yeah.
do you want this stack of like paper that we've got? No, it's all right, don't worry about it, just go through.
We'd planned to come for like the last year, watching your videos and things like that. So yeah, we're happy to finally make it.
Yay! When he says, you know, oh, you can pretty much do anything you want, that's because he's coming from New Zealand, where he's now locked out of his country, and
Pretty
they have
much.
some of the strictest rules. They were telling me on the boat. They can't go back unless
it's a one-way trip.
It's a one-way trip. You can go back, but there's a lottery involved, right?
Yeah. So you have to like apply for this lottery, and then if you get in, then you'll have to wait the time period, and then you have to pay like $2,000 to be able to stay in the hotels that you're going to stay in.
If you have an emergency,
you can't do anything about it.
You've got to join the list.
They won't even let the All Blacks in. Like, no one.
So they won't even let the national rugby team.
No.
Skip ahead. No preference.
No.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'm not too ugly.
He's not a tourist. He's been here how long? Over a year?
A little bit over a year.
So my question to Forrest is a little bit different. What's your advice to people thinking about coming to Thailand? Like if they're on the precipice, they're looking at the paperwork list of things to do, they really want to come to Thailand, but they're not sure, they're watching travel vlogs, it looks really good, and then they look at the list of things they need to do and that puts them off.
Generally, if you guys lived long, if you guys have, all right, let's do that again. Generally, if you guys have lived this life long enough, if there are a ton of barriers in front of you, it's worth the. God damn it! All right.
He's a YouTuber as well.
You live this life long enough, as I have. Whenever there's a shit ton of things that you need to do, a ton of barriers, that means that the juice is worth the squeeze.
Oh!
Get the paperwork done. Like, quit complaining, quit bitching, just get it done. Whatever. Checklist. Keep your mind numb, get the paperwork done, knock it out. Immigration's gonna kick back some paperwork, redo your paperwork again. Who cares? Suck it up, shut up, do it. And when you come over here, you're gonna be experiencing one of the more freer countries out of this whole COVID lockdown pandemic that literally lets you live the most libertarian, free lifestyle ever exists. Just don't kill anyone.
Okay, so that was the Hidden Bangkok tour, and that was the answers from tourists and expats. I don't really feel like I'm qualified to tell you if it's worth it because I've lived here now for many years and I haven't had to go through anything really. All of the paperwork or the sandboxes or the testing goes, I didn't think I had the experience or the knowledge to make a video about this, and I thought to myself, so many of you might be thinking about coming to Thailand and you're umming and ahhing about, is it worth it? When you look at the list of paperwork you have to get, it is ticking boxes and you can do it, and you can even employ people to do it for you. There are people who sell services to help you get to Thailand, but I just didn't want to throw my 2 cents in because I just don't feel like I've been through it. So that's why I asked some of our subscribers to let you know, now that they're here and they can eat the food and go on the boats in the canals and feel Thailand, and they've gone through it all and it's all behind them, it's good to know that they say that it is 1000% worth it. And I'll leave the link in the description for how to book this tour. There was 6 other boats on the river tonight, other tourists, and everyone had a great night. And as you can see, it's a real slice of a local unknown area of Bangkok, and well worth doing if you're here for sure. So yeah, see you in another adventure from another province in and around Bangkok very soon. Bye.